I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a detailed look at the Baggu Standard Tote, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting off with the materials on this here, this is a 100% nylon, and it's with 40% of it is recycled. So essentially it's just kind of like a little crunchy bag. The design here, you can kind of see even on this outside here is like a ripstop material. So the bag itself is pretty small. I mean, just kind of looking in comparison like to my hands and my face, like it's a pretty small bag. So just sort of getting a feel for how it fits in your bag, it is pretty easy to just kind of take this thing anywhere. So this is the storage bag itself. It is a separate storage bag, so that is a small disadvantage. There's no like attachment point or anything, so when you do take it out of this bag, what I did for the most part was just put it in the larger bag here, but there was one time where I used some I got some groceries and I had this in here, and I just sort of dumped a bunch of stuff into the trash from this bag, and this made it into the trash as well. So if you do have this with you, then make sure you keep that in mind, that this is a separate thing and there's nowhere, to store it on the inside. The design is fairly simple. You can kind of see that ripstop design on the actual bag itself, and you can probably hear that crunch as well. It packs up pretty small even if you weren't using this bag, if that's something where you don't want to like lose it or kind of lose track of it. But in general, it is a decent amount of space here. It holds up to 50 pounds of weight, and I did find that was pretty consistent. So I was able to pack a fair amount in here without feeling like it was going to break. So on the sides here, there's a little bit more branding. It's very similar to this storage container here. And it is sort of like a gusseted edge. So you can see that as you add things in here, it's gonna expand as you need it. It doesn't get flat on the bottom. You can see it's just like one singular seam. So it expands out this way, but it is sort of like a tote without a bottom there. So it does make it a little bit harder to set it down if you have a lot of stuff in here and it's not very even. It could kind of like roll all over the place. But in general, because of its small size and its packability, it is just like super handy to have on hand, just sort of in general. And then it's washable, machine washable as well, and then you just hang dry it. So if it gets a little bit mucky on the inside, then it's easy to clean. But I mean, it is fairly simple, right? A little additional tag here if you want a little bit more information about the materials if you forget or just care a lot about it. And then, just kind of looking on the inside here with these seams, it is still in really good shape. I use this pretty consistently, like whenever, I go to a grocery store that doesn't provide bags or anything like that, this is the bag that I would use. And you can still see, even with me using it consistently, it still has a lot of like that seam to it, so it doesn't really fully lose its shape or design. But when you do want to fold it, that kind of helps, because what you do is you just fold it in half, and then you fold it like that. And then, you can kind of do it however you want to. Honestly, I folded it a couple different ways, and it always made it back into its storage container here. So I folded it up like this, and then you just stick it right inside, and then fold this back over, and you've got your little square container again. So it's super simple. Again, this is sort of the thing that you just keep on hand because it is low profile and super lightweight and pretty durable, honestly. This is something that I would just like keep in my car, and then I had it whenever I needed it. So there you have it, the Baggu Standard Tote. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.